Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for The Beekeeper. It's a movie starring Jason Statham and then Jeremy Irons and Josh Hutcherson. So, I am a big fan of Jason Statham movies. There are very few, and none that come to mind right now, movies with Jason Statham in it that I don't like. Because he is just awesome. Like, he always brings it 110%. And I love watching him kick people's asses, which is what he does most of the time. So, one of my favorite recent-ish releases of his was Man of Wrath, and I actually surprisingly liked the Meg and the Meg 2, The Trench. So, yeah, I would say that this movie, if you liked the Meg movies, and you didn't think they were too ridiculous, then I think you will like this one. If you thought those went a little bit too far, then I don't think you'll like this one. Also, same thing with if you like the Gerard Butler, Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen, Angel Has Fallen. Like, if you liked those type of movies, if you liked those, then I think you'll like this one. So overall, I did enjoy it. Jason Statham, as always, is a win. Brings it 110%, kicks people's asses. All of the action involving him, like any of the close quarter stuff and any of the firefighting and all that jazz, looks excellent. I would say that there was no CGI or anything that was bad enough to annoy me, like, or distract me in any way. There was a couple pieces where I was like, that could be CGI, but I don't care, because it wasn't relevant type of thing. And for a lot of the movie, I think the moves made sense. Like, obviously the character's inspiration and the drive for the plot made sense, and the explanations for how things were able to progress in the way that they were made sense. But what I will say is that the last, I guess I call it act, but the last quarter to maybe a third of the movie, it got a little difficult to put on the, like, yeah, that's how that would happen type of blinders. So I think that they just pushed it a little bit too far to be quite believable, especially with how serious the rest of it was being. So I didn't quite buy that. But I still enjoyed the action sequences involved in the last third to last quarter. I still thought that it was entertaining enough to make me forgive that I'm not sure that extreme that they pushed it to would be likely. I do also like overall the plot, especially the last third to quarter was very entertaining given today's culture. That's all I'm gonna say. But it was a fun time. It was fun for. I think anybody could have fun with that last third to a quarter. I think it's great. I think everybody will enjoy that in some capacity, depending on your interpretation. So, yeah, definitely thumbs up. I'd say watch it. It's a Jason Statham action movie, so of course you should watch it in theaters. But also, whenever you get a chance to. So 2 thumbs up. I'm gonna talk about some spoiler things. I'm gonna try and keep it as vague as possible, but it's gonna be spoilery. Okay, so spoiler alert. So what kind of bugged me is that I get that he's supposed to be the guy that we're rooting for. He's the protagonist. He's the beekeeper. He's helping the hive or whatever. But they push it so far because it's awesome that you get a little bit of the equalizer in there where, he's not using any guns for like 99% of his interactions with people. But they push so hard to make him the good guy that he doesn't kill, or at least definitively kill, any sort of law enforcement or federal agent officer at all. Like, period dot. Even when he's going up against, like, the FBI and the Secret Service and all of that, like, they're not. they tons and tons of them, and he finds a way to, like, punch kicky them down to the ground or whatever, or like, shoot them in the leg and disable them that way. So it gets a little ridiculous that, like, okay, we get it, you're still going to make it to your thing, but you're not going to kill law enforcement officers. And, like, don't get me wrong, totally supportive of not trying to kill the bad guy, or not trying to kill the good guy. But how they compensate for that so that you get some of the, like, well, we want to see him kill some people, is that, like, any sort of, I'm going to call them contractors, but any contractors are just fair game. So, the security guys that are doing security at the first bad establishment, those are probably the ones that died in the fire. the security guys at the next establishment, the prior Navy SEAL, Delta Force, whatever, all the things that Jeremy Irons listed, like those guys are the contracted security for the Danforth building, and he just decimates them, has no problem killing any of them, and then I guess I am getting this super spoiler territory. So spoiler alert. And then they go and with no explanation whatsoever, they start having I don't know, Lucky Number 11 or just any standard movie where there's just a kooky group of assassins, where they just have their own little weird thing, oh, those are the twins, oh, those are the ones with the haircut, oh, that's the guy with the accent. They have that at the Camp David, just whatever the beach house was, there that they set that thing, and they offer no explanation as to why this group of very kooky mercenaries are just allowed to roll around in this area. So A, there's no explanation for that, which is kind of annoying, but sure, maybe it ended up on cutting room floor. This is, I think, a movie with an appropriate length, so whatever. But B, these guys are real fucking trigger happy, real trigger happy, and they're in an area that supposedly has at least one high-ranking, at least two high-ranking government officials, and I just feel like with the amount of security going on, that these trigger-happy, kind of possibly mentally unstable dudes might not necessarily be allowed to have those weapons in an area where, they might have not paid attention to what's in front of and behind their target sort of thing. You know what I mean? And then, on top of that, you have so they have no explanation, and then they have that going, and this whole thing, they do this whole sequence of showing just how secure this area is. You have hundreds of security people, and Jeremy Irons even makes a point of hey, keep all your security guys, they're not, the security needs to stay outside of this room, stay outside of this, because we want this to be ultra secure by not even having security people here. And then they throw a party of some kind, without explanation as to why they're throwing a party in what should be a lockdown area. Who the fuck are all these people? And they're dressed up like they're from the Hunger Games Central District or Capital District or whatever. I don't understand why they're having that. And then, okay, so super spoiler alert, so I guess no spoiler review in the future. This is just it. This is just my spoiler review, too. That, Jason Statham escapes by going into the ocean. And I just feel if they're going to have a beach house, first of all, probably from what I've gathered from The London Has Fallen and Angel Has Fallen and All That Has Fallen, I feel that he wouldn't be able to just yeet himself through a window to escape, because probably something more than just your average bitch-ass glass would be there. And B, no boats. No boats in the water for this super lockdown place that is apparently right up against the water. No boats to hey, no, he's over there. He's over there. He's right. He's next to the rocks. He's putting on a suit that should definitely take longer than the 5 seconds of screen time. Okay. Yeah, no, he's right there. I can see him just a little bit further, guys. He's right there. Nope. Okay. So it really it stretches believability too far. Still entertaining to watch him, kick all these butts in a way that still doesn't kill any of the law enforcement, but he definitely, shoots the hell out of all those kooky assassin contractor mercenary guys, because they're not government officials, so it's okay. He can still be the good guy while killing those guys. He just can't kill the other official government officials. He can kill retired government officials that are doing security, though. Apparently that's fun. You see what I mean? It's a little weird. I don't get it. He can still be the good guy and be doing the thing, or yeah. So, anywho, still enjoyed it, but that stretched believability a bit too far. But the actors involved in the sequences were still good. So, yeah, still 2 thumbs up for that movie. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Bye.